Seyi Tinubu has come under fire on social media after he was spotted on Sunday, October 8th, reportedly using the presidential jet to travel to Kano to watch the finals of this year's edition of the Kano International Polo Tournament. Eyewitnesses say the presidential jet that conveyed Seyi Tinubu and his friends landed in Kano around midday on Sunday. He was said to have been received at the airport by some officials of the presidency, the Kano state government, and the Kano Polo Club. While users on social media criticized the president's son for using the jet for a private event, while the London-based Nigerian journalist Jafar wrote this on X. Here is Tinubu's golden child, Seyi, traveling in a presidential jet to watch polo in Kano. But this trend did not start today. Buhari set the bad example when he allowed his daughter Hanan to travel in a presidential jet for a photo tour in Bauchi. Even if our laws are vague on this, one thing is clear: this is an offense to the moral code of leadership. Dr. Abati, our lawyer here.
Well, I think that Jafar is correct. This is clearly a case of abuse of presidential powers. To the best of my knowledge, Seyi Tinubu is not an official of state. He's not a former head of state. Many are in fact likely to ask, who the hell is he? Because he's the president's son. So even if you are a child of privilege, what I always tell these children of privilege is that why don't you struggle and develop yourself and make a name for yourself instead of just relying on privilege? But what concerns us is the abuse of presidential powers. The son of the president is not qualified in any way to use the presidential jet, any of the jets in that fleet, except, however, you know, there was once upon a time, there was this arrangement whereby you can hire the jet, any of the smaller jets, but you will pay for it, okay? But in this case, it's not clear that he's paying for the use of it, and that this is not the first time that he will use this jet to go on a frolic of his own. It's not as if he's running errand for his father, because the president has powers under the Constitution. He can send somebody on an errand and say, okay, let the jet take it. He was going to watch a polo match. What is that?
No idea.
And then what even makes it scandalous was that he was received, we were told, when he arrived in Kano, as if he were a state official by government officials, and he was given heavy security, wasting taxpayers' money to protect the president's son. So these are the issues. However, that presidential fleet, you know, is given out with the approval of the Office of the National Security Advisor, because the presidential fleet, that's a security operation. What I know is that, you know, former heads of state, sometimes if they are a trip to somewhere, or they are heads of states of other countries, will approach Nigeria if they had a major trip, and Nigeria will say, okay, you can use presidential jet to be approved for them. But to turn the presidential jet into, you know, an Okada that people can be using to go and watch polo, to go and watch table tennis, or to go and visit persons in parts of the country. No, the optics, very bad.
The president's son using the presidential jet, but how will he not use it when we had a country of waste, when President Buhari did the same, and everybody keeps violating the government?
Yes, yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up.
Oji, one part that we won't forget in all of this. Yes. How will he not use it and turn it into an Okada? This is the same man that his father has his private jet. Why didn't he use his father's private jet?
This is the question.
So that's a big point that people are not even mentioned. Yeah. His father has a private jet. Yes. Very good jet, a Falcon.
Do you remember?
We've all seen in pictures and all of that. So why didn't he take his father's private jet to use? But it's part of the waste, you see, because state resources can be wasted easily. Yes. As long as you are there, you waste as much you can for the 4 or the 8 years you're going to be here. So that's the kind of, so we've built a culture of waste. And the shocking thing, Oji, because me, I'm a man of facts. Yeah. Those that are even criticizing him today, when they get to power, they will waste the same way.
This is unfair.
So it's the kind of, you see, Oji, I keep saying this. People don't get me when I say culture will eat strategy for breakfast. We have built a perpetual culture of waste.
So what is that law, Dr. Abati, and why is it so vague? If you remember that, Han and Buhari had done the same thing, and 3 years ago we criticized her, and nothing was done about that after a while. And we had seen a lot of videos. I don't know if you have that Hannah Buhari video. This is the video. We had seen a lot of videos of the Buhari administration using these public assets for private use.
It's a culture of waste.
To go all the way back beyond Buhari. Abacha's son also used state assets.
Yeah, it's
state helicopter.
It's a culture of waste.
But you could say that was under the military, but it's the same thing.
It's a culture of waste.
Can't these children of privilege, can't they find something to do? I mean, being the son of a president should not be a career.
Dr. Abati.
Or being the son or the daughter of a governor, that should not be a job.
Dr. Abati, some people print cards saying friend to the governor.
So if you can print complimentary cards and sit at the job.
Complimentary cards and say Baba to somebody. How much more this? So I think
it's the culture
of the impunity.
Yeah, this is what it is.
For those that are criticizing them, once they get into that's why you wrote a piece. I read you a lot of that. You say it's as if there's a demon in the House of Rock. That once people get in there, they lose their sense of consciousness, they lose their sense of mind. But I think that's the question we should be asking this man. I know he's an avid polo player. I've seen him play polo a couple of times. I know he wanted to go see the final. But let's ask him, his father has a private jet. Why didn't he use his own father's private jet?
Why
did he have to use Nigeria?
All right, let's take out another story.
The summary of it is that Nigerians will keep watching and they will expect. And next time around, except anybody is on official assignment, they will not use our presidential jet to go and watch
you can't do
table tennis or to go to the market to go and buy Ogbono and Ewedu.
Ogbono and Ewedu, I love that. All right, we'll take